Right now, someone on your team is probably pasting company data into a free AI tool you've never heard of. Not because they're trying to leak secrets, not because they are careless, but because they are trying to do their job faster. And here is the uncomfortable part. If your company has not created rules for AI yet, your employees already created the rules for you. They're using ChatGPT. They're using browser extensions. They're using meeting note takers. They're using free summarizers, image tools, spreadsheet helpers, proposal writers, code assistants, and whatever tool their friend sent them last week. You may not have rolled out AI at your company, but AI has already been rolled out, just not by you. Today, I want to show you how to handle that without killing productivity, without writing a 40-page legal document, and without pretending a ban is going to work. This is the one-page AI policy every business should have. What we are talking about here is called Shadow AI. It is the AI version of Shadow IT. Shadow IT is when employees use apps, software, or devices that the company does not know about and did not approve. Shadow AI is the same thing, but now the tool can ingest contracts, customer information, meeting notes, source code, financials, strategy documents, and internal conversations. And that makes it much more serious. The instinct from a lot of owners and executives is simple. Fine, ban it. No chat GPT, no AI tools, no browser extensions. Problem solved. Except it is not problem solved. Banning AI at work does not stop AI at work. It just moves it to personal phones, personal laptops, personal email accounts, and free tools where you have even less visibility. So now you have lost both things you wanted. You lost the productivity benefit, and you lost the ability to see what is happening. This is the worst version of this. The better answer is not anything goes. The better answer is clear rules, approved tools, clear data boundaries, and a fast path to say yes when someone finds something useful. That is what your one-page AI policy is for. Let's make this real. A widely reported example from 2023 involved Samsung engineers allegedly pasting sensitive source code and internal information into ChatGPT. Samsung responded by restricting generative AI use inside the company. That story got attention because Samsung is huge. But the pattern is not limited to big tech companies. It happens everywhere. A salesperson pastes a client list into a free tool and says, help me prioritize these accounts. An operations manager uploads a vendor contract into a browser extension and says, summarize the renewal terms. A finance person drops a spreadsheet into an AI assistant and says, find trends in this data. A developer pastes source code into a chatbot and says, fix this bug. A team records every meeting with a note taker nobody in IT or leadership has vetted. Again, most of this is not malicious. It is people trying to save time. But from the company's point of view, the question is, where did that data go? Did it get into a business account with data controls turned on? Or did it go into a free consumer tool? Is it stored in vendor logs? Can the vendor use it to train models? Who has access to it? What happens if that vendor gets breached? Can you delete it? Can you audit it? Do you even know the tool exists? That is the core risk. This is not AI is scary. It is we have company data moving into systems we cannot see, cannot govern, and cannot recover from if something goes wrong. So before you write a policy, you need to find out what is already happening. This does not need to be a 6-month consulting project. You can start with a 15-minute exercise. First, check expense reports. Search for subscriptions to AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Jasper, Otter, Fireflies, Grammarly, Midjourney, Zapier, Notion AI, and whatever else shows up. Do not treat this as a gotcha. Treat it as a map. If employees are paying for these tools, that is useful information. They are telling you where the business is already getting value. Second, audit browser extensions. Browser extensions are one of the sneakiest places for shadow AI to live. An employee installs something that summarizes pages, rewrites emails, records calls, or analyzes documents. It seems harmless, but depending on permissions, that extension may be able to read data across web pages, email, CRM systems, internal dashboards, or documents. That matters. Third, check your Microsoft or Google admin console. Look for third-party OAuth apps with access to company data. This one shocks people. You may find apps with access to email, calendars, documents, files, contacts, or chat. Some are legitimate, some are old, some nobody recognizes. But this is where you start getting visibility. Fourth, send an anonymous team survey, and the tone matters. Do not send, report any employee violating AI rules. Send something like this: what AI tools are helping you do your job faster? No punishment, no blame. We are trying to understand what is useful so we can support it safely. That phrase matters. Support it safely. This cannot feel like a witch hunt. If your team thinks the purpose is punishment, they will hide what they are using. If they believe the purpose is clarity, they will tell you the truth. And the truth is what lets you build a useful policy. Now let's build the actual one-page policy. Not a giant legal document, not a PDF nobody opens. One page, plain English. Something a manager can explain in 5 minutes. Something an employee can remember. Here is the structure. Line 1, approved tools. Your policy should say, employees may use the following approved AI tools for work. Tool 1, Tool 2, Tool 3, etc. Use company accounts only. Start with 2 or 3 tools. Do not try to approve everything. Pick tools with business accounts, admin controls, reasonable data protections, and clear ownership. For many companies, that might be Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT Team or Enterprise, Google Gemini for Workspace, Claude Team or Enterprise, or another tool that fits your environment. The specific tools matter less than the principle. Use approved tools. Use business accounts. Turn data controls on. Do not run company work through random personal accounts. Line 2, green data and red data. This is the heart of the policy. You need to tell employees what is okay and what is not. Green data is safe to use with approved AI tools. That includes public information, generic brainstorming, first drafts, rewriting non-sensitive text, summarizing public articles, creating outlines, and improving internal natural language when no confidential data is included. Red data does not go into AI tools unless the company has explicitly approved that use case. Red data includes customer personal information, financial records, source code, passwords, API keys, legal documents, contracts under NDA, private strategy documents, acquisition plans, employee records, medical information, and anything a client would not expect you to upload into a third-party tool. Make this painfully clear. If the employee has to wonder, they should ask. Line 3, human review. Your policy should say, AI output must be reviewed by a human before it is sent to a customer, published, used in a decision, or entered into a business system. This protects you from a different kind of AI risk, confident nonsense, also known as hallucinations. AI can be useful and wrong at the same time. It can invent facts. It can misunderstand context. It can produce language that sounds polished, but is legally, financially, or technically incorrect. So the rule is simple. AI can draft, humans decide. Line 4, new tool requests. This is where a lot of companies mess up. If your approval process takes 6 weeks, employees will route around it. So the policy should say, want to use a new AI tool? Submit the 5-minute request form. You will get an answer within 48 hours. That is how you create a yes by default culture. The answer is not always yes, but the process should be fast. Ask for the tool name, website, intended use, what data will go into it, whether it connects to company systems, and who needs access. That is enough to triage most requests. If the tool is low risk, approve it. If it is high risk, ask more questions. But do not let the process become so slow that employees stop using it. Line 5, one named owner. Your policy needs a person, not leadership, not IT, not the company, a person. The policy should say, AI usage questions and tool approvals are owned by name and role. That could be the owner, COO, CIO, security lead, operations lead, or whoever makes sense in your company. But someone has to own the decision. Otherwise, every AI question becomes a hallway conversation, and every team invents its own standard. Here is the whole thing in plain English. Use approved AI tools only for company work. Use company accounts, not personal accounts. Green data is allowed. Public information, brainstorming, outlines, drafts, and non-sensitive work. Red data is not allowed without approval. Customer personal information, financials, source code, passwords, legal documents, contracts under NDA, employee records, confidential strategy, or client-sensitive material. AI output must be reviewed by a human before it is sent, published, relied on, or entered into company systems. To request a new AI tool, submit the 5-minute form. You will receive an answer within 48 hours. AI policy owner, questions go there first. That's it. One page. Clear enough to use, short enough to read. Now, some owners hear AI policy and think red tape. But a good AI policy is the opposite. Clear rules make adoption faster. When employees do not know what is allowed, they either freeze or they hide. Neither one is good. The cautious employees avoid useful tools because they are afraid of doing something wrong. The aggressive employees use whatever they want because nobody told them where the line is. A clear policy fixes both problems. It tells people, here are the tools, here's the data you can use, here's the data you cannot use, here's how to ask for something new, and here's who makes the call. That creates speed. It creates confidence. And it lets the company capture the productivity gains of AI without pretending the risks are imaginary. The companies that handle this well are not the ones banning everything. They are the ones building guardrails early. Because once AI usage gets baked into workflows, it is much harder to clean up later. So here's what I would do this week. Today, run the OAuth and browser extension audit. Look at what apps already have access to your company data. Check expense reports for AI subscriptions. On Monday, send the amnesty survey. Ask your team what AI tools help them work faster. Then draft the one-page policy. Do not overcomplicate it. Approve tools, green data, red data, human review, new tool request process, named owner. That is the first version. You can improve it later. But having a simple policy today is better than having a perfect policy 6 months from now. And if you want the grown-up version of this, AI strategy with security governance built in, that is what we do at VAIO Group. We help companies adopt AI without turning their data environment into a mystery box. There is a free 3-minute AI readiness score at vaio.group. You can find the link below. And if you're an individual employee trying to use AI safely at work, watch this video next, because AI is already inside your company. The question is whether you are going to govern it on purpose or discover it during an incident. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.